I can't let it go playing for too long without including it in the live stream. It was sort of the plan last night, but I did other stuff instead. Some of it live streamed. But there was a section I was looking at. It's early morning and it was a lot to process. It's fine. Hopefully you're good. To say it's early in the morning, I'm just gonna set the device down for a moment and we'll get started with the content. Okay, so we have somebody here. Welcome. I haven't been rolling super long. Glad to have you here. So, hopefully you can hear me over the music. It's early and I don't want to be shouting. Let me turn it down just a smidgen for right now. As you leave. You're welcome for the accommodation, which I don't even think you realized as that happened. But then again, maybe your device died or somebody started. And people have habit responses. Like if they live with somebody, there was something else I was gonna say about when you live with somebody. Then you're gonna. Is that moment? I mean, if you're already live streaming, does it, I don't know. Because what if you forget to undo it? I saw the most. I don't even know what to think of a video the other day. But anyway, sometimes when we're maybe watching or somebody comes into the room or somebody is around us, we might kind of look off or something or whatever. But some of us won't, and in a way, it gives a more accurate interpretation. We'll start with the stretching and the chatting and all that in just a moment. But with somebody for a few seconds, they're like, I have no clue what you're talking about. Yeah, and maybe I'm not expressing it well, but I mean, it was just a very quick thing I was saying, and sometimes people are too quick to whatchamacallit. Oh, the other thing is I do kind of want to go get that other thing. The other thing is I want to get the other thing. And then just whatever way I place it, maybe, yeah. I did forget something downstairs. I'm not sure if I'm going to need it for the stretching portion. And it's good, pretty. Okay, that was kind of strange. So I did have to go get something downstairs and the connection. And I took 2 or 3 tries to get it to come back. Now, do I have a water in here? I'd really like to have a water in here. Speaking about having to get something, I usually do. In fact, I do, I think. Hydration and water is good. Healthy beverages are good. I do apologize for the lighting. It's early here. I might end up just turning on the light in this room in a moment because um, because with the seasons changing, it's still dark out right now in the morning here, and because it's early, I feel like my eyes aren't ready for the light yet. I do have a small lamp here, but I kind of feel like I'm probably gonna need it. um, so you can see the fancy stretches I'm doing and such. They really won't be that fancy. Oh, I meant to say something in the description, but well, actually, I can do that when I get to the computer later. Or if there's enough of you here enjoying it and chatting, and I'll just tell you, that's fine with me too. But yeah, I was just looking to see if there was a way to add a description because I'd forgotten to. Really, it's just, there's one thing. I'm going to wait till there's a few more people here though, and then maybe I'll say it, but the rest is in the title. So yes, I probably will turn on the light in just a moment here. Like I say, it's early, but I don't think this lighting's terrible. It's got a bit of a hue that might not be someone's favorite, including maybe kind of mine, but it's the sun's not coming through the window yet, and it's early. Anywho, so we got two people here, and I am at only 50%, and this drops fast, but I do have it plugged in. So what I'd like to start with, well, not start with, because that was the first 9 minutes. What I'd like to do next is just have you sit for a moment, take a slow moment in your day, whatever time of day you're at, and listen to this music that we created on the site, which is why I couldn't be monetized. It's very lovely stuff. This might not be the best track, but it's not terrible. The flute one is really amazing. And I'd be curious what these evoke for you. And if they evoke any certain imagery, put it in the chat. Maybe I'll turn it into a dance. Stretching portion in a few moments here. And then later in this podcast, there will be a couple times when we have to take about, not exactly sure how long it's going to be. Actually, probably no longer than maybe an hour, a little more than that. All three left. Could be an hour and 15, but either all three came back or three new ones came at the same time. That's kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, an hour and 15 probably, with maybe 2 15-minute breaks. Maybe even less than that. Some piano playing from G in a little bit. And then, yeah, at some point today, if the weather is decent, I'm probably going to go for a bike ride. Maybe even a little bit of a photography journey. But for now, yeah, it's not, I don't hate it, this particular song that's playing right now, but it's not my favorite in the list, I wouldn't say. And I just recently kind of transposed some of these. Anywho, so I'm just going to I'm just going to turn the light on. I think my eyes have kind of adjusted to the day at this point. And then we're going to do some very simple stretches that I really feel anybody could do. This is me talking after all. Not that I'm like the worst off, and I understand that, but Oh, I didn't realize. Just a moment. I thought there wasn't lyrics in this stuff. And, whoops. You might briefly lose me as I put this in. I'm just gonna quickly go to the other room and change this one. So doesn't it sound like Josh Groban? But it's not, that I know of. Well, think about the let's forget that. Messed up on that. Okay. Thanks for your patience. This sounds like an instrumental piece. Okay. So, the other day I was watching something. It was for arthritis, circulation issues, those kind of things. And it's a similar kind of thing with the wrist. And you laughed, whatever. She's like, why are you not trying to get more sleep? Because my body won't let me right now. Essentially. And I think I did already. So, you can hear mine cracking perhaps. Do as you're comfortable. Just wrist rotations. Whether you're on devices a lot or whatever, you're like, at the same time, separately, whichever. And if it's comfortable or feels like the thing to do, you can also hold that wrist just to kind of steady it, sturdy it, whatever you want to call it. And it also kind of, maybe you give it a bit of a massage while you're doing it. That can help with arthritis and some other things. I had a doctor tell me that, the solution might be, I'm just going to turn this fan off, I think, just a moment. There were 3 people here until I did that. It's like, oh, it's going off screen again. There's going to be this happening about 15 times. No. I kind of wish I had my coffee, but I'll wait till I get downstairs. So hopefully this time goes fast, but it's enjoyable. And we can energize each other, with great conversation. Anywho, so said you could use an arm brace, and I thought I'm not going to fall asleep with that thing on. And he kind of seemed to understand. I mean, unless it's made of very soft material, one thing that I think isn't helpful, perhaps, is, so many of us will sleep with our arm between 2 pillows and bent. Like last night, I, at one point, wasn't sleeping on my side. I just decided to sleep on my back. And it seemed like that helped kind of circulation and flow a bit better, as opposed to being bent up where, it's going to stop at the joint, and kind of settle there, perhaps. Does that make sense? I think so. Anywho, so that's the hand kind of arm thing. And like this morning, I had like tingling, burning sensation kind of up to almost my middle arm. So I mean, have to focus on those areas. And then the feet are very similar. And this is really a hands on and feet on type of stretching thing. You can do it any time in the day. And I'm needing to get in the habit of doing it myself. And then we can chat. I'll do music. We're taking it slow though, for the most part, because it is morning. But I don't have anything for a little while. And then the other thing doesn't have a set time, and it depends on the weather. So, okay, so the other thing, I fairly recently cleaned my feet. I'm just going to show you them quickly so you can see what I'm doing. I don't think you'll be too bothered. And if you have a foot, there was someone there for like 5 minutes until I said it. So but either came back and they're like, okay, let's just see them and then I'll decide. And I'm not sure I would say that I get it, by the way, although there is something about a nice pair of feet. That really is. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't have a foot fetish. But, or like the upper shin. I don't know. There's something. Just like shoulders and, anyway. That used to be one I had. Maybe I still have it. Anyway. So basically what you're doing is you're kind of just, I think the video I was watching recently called it pumping. You get the idea. If you'd like to see my feet doing it for longer, just let me know. But I'm going to do about 10 or 15 repetitions of it. You're like, okay, they weren't that bad, but then he switched off of his feet, and so I'm out of here. That's what it looked like. That's how it came across. He's like, oh, and bring a couple of friends, apparently. Maybe not. Anywho, but yeah, so, I mean, why do we stretch? Why do people like to stretch? Because the body feels good doing it. You know, you shouldn't be in a lot of pain. I mean, like, with the tingling and such sensations that I was having and being able to do this, what you might notice is you get a cramp on the bottom of your foot when you're doing it. More than the hand, I would say, but maybe the hand too. Okay, this one has, I'm just going to turn it down because he's going to be in that room in a moment. And, yeah. Anywho, I'm thinking you could, it seems like the retention is sort of saying in the short bit that I've been rolling that you can hear me over the music, but, yeah. I mean, this composing program that we've been using really does do some nice lyrics. And if I use the I should plug this in while I talk, just a moment. The cord can reach while I do that, so just a moment. You might briefly lose me, but I'll be back. Okay, so, what was I saying? Oh, right, so I play it out of one, I record it with the other. I've been learning the settings a bit better on the cell phone. There's still the one I'm a little bit confused about. It's a lot of reading. It was too early, and I might still be confused about it regardless. But we do our best, right? So I hope that you will subscribe and like and hit the notification bell. And yeah, so basically stretching, I mean, I used to have a thing happen occasionally when I would do stretching, even if it was just like in the morning before getting out of bed, which I'm pretty sure we all do that. Like, I don't get out of bed. And apparently, some people that really struggle with the mental health spend a lot of time in bed. And I've never, I've had struggles, but I've never been that bad. I mean, and I don't, that's maybe not the way I mean to say it either, but I mean, I guess if you live in a small apartment and, you don't have a big house to move around in, you still have a couple rooms. So I don't know. Maybe somebody would like to help me understand that. I mean, I totally understand. Um, I think the biggest one that would cause that would be depression, a lack of purpose, for sure, and maybe other things. Maybe medications. Some people are on medications, so many or such a high amount that they. But this does not mean that it's for everybody anyway, but that they are just always tired or always whatever. So I'm always whatever. So, but I'm not on any medication, so I could explain it. And the two people that were here for about 2 to 5 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, they were like whatever, so I'm like whatever. Anywho, I'm amazed I'm this awake. But like I say, when I know that and I mean, I had a hard time falling back asleep for about almost an hour. And when I know that I'm gonna be starting the day, I do. But I don't really want to bring coffee up here. It's tempting though. It's like, okay, if I'm gonna be up, I'd like to be having some coffee. Um, and that's where I get most of my sugar intake, but not only. Um, I could talk about some upcoming things perhaps, but I likely won't be filming them. So, uh, but I could talk about them after I've done them, perhaps. I'm just thinking for a moment. 14th, 29th, yeah, 4th, 17th. Okay. Now that I've got that all reminded in my own head, um, yes. So, um, but stretching it feels good. Um, it's that pull. I think it's that. It's one of those things. It's like it's a sensation that almost feels like pain, but feels better than pain. Right? How would you describe it? Out of curiosity, that's how it comes to mind for me to describe it. With the arthritis and the circulation issues and such, whatever they're caused by, um, I would say that one thing I've been starting to notice is it might take a bit of movement. It might take, a number of repetitions, maybe with breaks in between, before you notice any difference. I can get up and walk for about 5, 10 minutes and still, you know, and he was wondering what I was doing. It's like, are you coming back upstairs soon? Well, yes, but I'm not sure if I'll be sleeping, kind of thing. Um, and it's funny because I just came from down in the basement moments prior. So yeah, I'm hoping, even though I kind of have planned today, I need to make the most of the nice weather while we have it. Because once I mean, if it's snowing lightly or not snowing, but there's snow on the ground and the sun's out, okay, sure. But here where we live, which I won't specify too specifically, but it can get very, very chilly, and people wear 2 or 3 layers sometimes. So, yeah, not a fan. I mean, sure, it is better if you're bundled up, but not a fan. So I'm gonna enjoy it as much as I can. You know, while it's nice. But if it's a really, really windy day, like we've been getting some very windy days, not a fan of that very much either. If I don't have to. But I do plan to probably go for, I would say a walk, but I like I like being on wheels. I like to. There's something that I'm kind of craving a bit more about being on a bike ride. I mean, one cool thing was that Danny's brother said that he might be open to joining me, and then I have other angels that would be too. Um, so I wouldn't have Wi-Fi with me. I don't know if in the post section here on YouTube, the non-video post section, if pictures can be posted. I'm not sure. Sorry, it's early morning, and I think this screen makes me look cross-eyed sometimes. But I'm just noticing it now, 25 minutes in. Anyway, um, I'm used to the bigger screen, but right now I didn't have it handy. So, but yeah, I'm not sure. But I'll take photos anyway, like J and C suggested, and like others would. And yeah, I mean, we live in a very residential street area with a couple of businesses. I'm not really sure, but you never know what you're going to see when you go out. Or, for that matter, just kidding. But so I'm sure there'd be, and that's what it was mostly a joke. But seriously, you truly never know. You might run into a friend. Um, in fact, there's an area that I was thinking of going. It's not super far, where it's a business that I know some people from, and they are sometimes out smoking. Um, and there's a bit of a fence, not really even a fence, a partial wooden wall that is behind the bench. And so, unless you kind of peek around it, you can't see who's there. And let's just say this, it's also an agency where that might be awkward to some people, especially if they don't know that I've had connection there and might be familiar with somebody who might be sitting there smoking. But I can also come from the other way and kind of see it from a distance. And then on my bike would be, I mean, not that it's far to go around and up the lane, but from my bike would make more sense. So, and if they're lucky, if I do run into them, I might give them some coupons. So, I don't know who they are yet, but I might know them. So yeah, but we also have something I'm reading around the house to receive. So yeah, I don't know if there's any other stretches. If you have any favorite stretches you like to do, put them in the comments. But I would say that one is kind of one actually, and I don't know. My arm looks funny on camera, but whatever. Where you just kind of reach over your head. Try not to crank your neck too much, but reach over your head. And then do the other one. You know, that kind of thing. I mean, some of these, a lot of us do all the time. Although the hand and kind of foot shin area, that one I'm wondering if maybe a lot of people don't and might benefit from it. So you're welcome. And there was two people here, and like, okay, I'll just come back and watch this from the beginning later. Then okay. Anywho, I don't know. Should I keep rolling or should I? I mean, parts of me prefer using the cell phone. Parts of me prefer using the laptop. It's not that doing that wasn't helpful, but I'm starting to notice. They also say crossing your legs isn't helpful, or even putting one leg, like and in high school they used to tease guys who did that. Oh, you're such a girl, blah 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 blah. But now they probably do it too. It's a fairly natural, comfortable way to sit, and I'm not going to say it's necessarily terrible, but it's not necessarily great. But even doing things like this, where you just kind of have one leg on top of the other and you're lounging, is not necessarily maybe always a good idea. But again, your body knows, and what you can do is kind of massage your foot with your other foot or your hand. Um, and actually, that's feeling really good right now. Oh yeah, baby. I'm not doing it too hard, but every now and then I kind of am. But that's I don't know the um, necessarily the how do I put it, like how to explain what it's doing other than that it's doing it and that I'm doing it. I think it's just activating the flow of things. The it's very similar to what a massage would do, I guess, and it changes the sensation, and I do feel like it kind of moves it and pushes it. Um, and my goodness, I have not spent much time doing this before. Apparently, I'm addicted now. I know it seems weird. You'd think I've only had my feet for a little over 39 years, but I'm still learning how they, how they, still learning the benefits. Still learning all the things they can do. Um, what time is it? 7:02. Well, I'm not downstairs yet, so if you couldn't tell. So because I'm not downstairs having coffee, playing music, I'm gonna guess because it's true. Like I almost want to wait till there's somebody here watching, and maybe they've just been too busy doing the stuff, and maybe most of the people that have been watching it's been morning. But truly, I've had it happen to I've done it. Lots of us have done it, where we sometimes hit a like, but we double click and it undoes it, and we don't notice it, um, or we just get so caught up in the content, chatting or listening, that we forget to. So I'll leave those. I'll say those two, and then I'll say the other one when somebody tunes in, because it's not so much a matter, or maybe I just can't hold it in. It's not so much a matter of he commented it, he may have watched it a little bit, but maybe he didn't like it, because I'm pretty sure those other two likes were there. But it's more of a matter of waiting to tell someone when they tune in. But this has lyrics, so it's great that he can have that connected to the speaker playing it in this room while he plays his own music in that room. Not that he doesn't like this stuff, but basically, I'm just thinking. Part of me is thinking I was gonna roll for longer, but part of me is thinking, the occasional short one's alright, and I'm not sure what else to put into this, but if time moves along a bit faster, we have two people just tuned in, so welcome. Yeah, I was looking at the list of videos the other day, and one of them, it said it had 3 likes until I clicked in, and then it said it had 2. So we can't go by these. Like, it said that we had 2 viewers just now, and yeah, some have very short attention spans or judge too quickly, but maybe they didn't leave, because that's happened too. Whether it's just one or usually one at a time, I've noticed that. It could be two, one leaves, but it says they both have left, and then they say, says, no, I'm here. Chat, chat, chat for an hour kind of thing. Um, so that's cool. But, I mean, the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to get back to sleep. I don't think I'm going to get back to sleep. I mean, this is the thing. These movements, these stretches, these if all we got is our self massages, they aren't necessarily going to fix our ailments all the time, or even for more than like 15 minutes. Like, what I probably need to do is get up and move around a little bit. That's something for a large part of my 30s that maybe has been not a great thing that I've done, is not enough movement. I mean, obviously some, basically just what's been necessary. No, just kidding, but not enough of it, you know. So it's important. It's important because the body. Well, that wasn't as long as the naps are. Okay. So I'm gonna hope that that's what happened. That at least this has a few likes, even though it doesn't look like it. It had some retention, and that's another reason why I think it. My goodness, Josh Groban. I don't think it is him, but not that I hate him or anything. I almost kind of look like him without the hat and maybe with a slightly shorter haircut. But and I sing like him too. So, but it'd be very interesting if the thingy identifies what that is. But yeah, I just know I'm not getting back to sleep. So here I am. Kind of waiting for the usual kind of next thing in the morning. So, curious what kind of joy we might find in the in between time. What was it? It was something else I was saying. Oh yeah, the retention makes me think that I think people know what I mean by that. But if you don't, the fact that I know it actually hasn't even been 40 minutes yet, but it's close. But the fact that some have stayed for about 10 minutes, I'm thinking, they've got to have liked something in that time. So it's just a glitch, I think, that it's not sticking. As far as comments, I'm not sure. Not seeing any of those either. But again, I had people. I also have no filter. Have I mentioned? Um, and who knows? Maybe I sparked somebody's usual routine, or a routine that they're kind of getting back in, or deciding to get back into. after seeing my video. It's kind of like, okay, well, now I want to do my whole body. I want to go for a jog around the neighborhood. I want to go for a bike ride. I want to do yoga. I want to dance. I want to enjoy my significant other. Whatever, so you're welcome for the inspiration and the motivation, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, yeah. Whether it's a sports injury or just aging and health or whatever, it's kind of annoying getting old. I'll tell you that much. Tell you that much. The rest later. Just kidding. But yeah, it's you know, there's many reasons why a lot of us can wish to go back to childhood, being that age again. I mean, some may not, but I mostly would. I mostly would. But at the same time, there's things to enjoy about adult life too, right? And our current situations, even if there's difficulties as well. So and I mean, if I had other ideas, and I kind of have one song idea, and you can give me some. If I had other ideas, I might be more tempted to maybe keep rolling. I'm not sure. I'm playing this by ear here. But one thing I know that I'm not great at is like stretches where you bend down and touch your toes. I mean, I get dizzy and I get a head rush when I stand up, kind of thing. Now, yes, maybe that's because I'm doing so too quickly, but at my age, um, and being fairly healthy, even though I know I'm sometimes mentioning how I've got all my difficulties, most of, I mean, it's what happens, so but I feel like it shouldn't be. So it shouldn't be the case. So I mean, and it's a very brief thing, but I don't know. So I don't know. I don't really get much from it. Although one thing that is nice, although I feel like I've been getting that just by simply stretching my legs in general, um, in a laying position. But one thing that is nice is that I think they call that hamstrings behind the knee. That stretch. Um, but yeah, so I mean, I know the other day I was also looking to speak to some dancers on here, and I guess I'm kind of always curious to talk about that, or that could be an ongoing thing, is what I'm saying. And you're like, define dancers, and I'm like, general dancers. Okay, yeah, that's me. Just kidding, just checking. Um, you know, non-specific. And if what might say is that if you're seeing up to this point, or you see this part, and you're curious why, what I'm tempted more to do, and it was quiet too. It was. Some of them are quite active in the chat. But what I'm tempted to do is say, check out that one. It was just last night. Um, there was. Okay, well, I don't. Okay, it just did. The device just did a little something. But last time, I think it was the other cell phone, but last time it did that, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wrap up. That's what I'm gonna do, and then I'll come back on the computer at some point today, probably in a few hours. So I know somebody just tuned in, and I'll give you a quick idea. I hope I'm not wasting my breath because you already know, but if you don't, this channel is about, and it's early in the morning here, so it's about uplifting, wellness, and health and mind and soul. Um, they're like, I'm just gonna go now. I don't like any of that stuff, but at least it looks like it. And music. Anyway, wrapping up. Talk to you later. Bye.